Now we will review the activity sheet. Please understand that the activity sheet is a legal and binding contract, which needs to be filled out in blue or black pen. No pencil or no colored pens are allowed. We cannot accept any cross-offs, whiteouts, or errors on your activity sheets. If there are any errors on your activity sheets, it will be rejected and will have to be redone at the end of the month. This may affect your payroll. The activity sheet is also known as a timesheet, billing form, and most importantly, legal and binding contract between the client, yourself, and Companions Forever. It must be signed by all three parties. We will now fill out the activity sheet together. Please grab a blue and black pen and pull out the Companion and Homemaking activity sheet from your employer-employee packet. On the upper right-hand corner, you will see an area labeled Week Ending. Sunday is the beginning of the week. You will work Sunday through Saturday. Saturday is the end of the week. Week ending will always be Saturday of the week you worked. Let's complete your activity sheet for the month of November 2013 for your client and sample. Please use a blue or black pen to complete the sample activity sheet. Your week ending will be November 2nd, 2013, which falls on a Saturday. So on your activity sheet in the upper right-hand corner, you will enter 11/2/13. Client name. Please use first and last name correctly spelled on the client name section. In this case, please write and sample. This is important because we need to know who to bill. Employee name. Please write your first and last name in this section. This is important because we need to know who to pay. First and last names must be provided for client and employee sections. Please do not use abbreviations or nicknames. Referring back to your client sheet, your weekly schedule is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Monday, October 28th, 2013, you were approved 3 hours of companionship and 3 hours of homemaking. Let's complete this section together. Find Monday on your activity sheet and write 10/28/13 for the date worked. Locate the companion section on the sheet. Please note that your start time was 10 a.m. as indicated on your client sheet. You were approved for 3 hours, so your out time would be 1 p.m. Please write 10 a.m. in the in section for Monday and 1 p.m. in the out section for a total of 3 hours. Now locate the homemaker section. You were approved 3 hours for homemaking, so your start time will be 1 p.m. until 4 p.m. Please write 1 p.m. in the in section and 4 p.m. in the out section under homemaking of your activity sheet. Once again, your total hours for Monday will be 3 hours, 10 to 1 for companionship, 3 hours, 1 to 4 for homemaking, a total of 6 hours. Please locate the total hours section and write 6 hours in the box for Monday. Then locate Monday at the bottom half of your activity sheet. Place the date above Monday. Please indicate the duties performed using ADL codes. R is the abbreviation for routine. A routine is a duty performed on a daily basis. F is the abbreviation for frequent. Frequent is the duty performed 2 or 3 times weekly. I is the abbreviation for intermittent. Intermittent is something that's performed once or twice a month. At the end of the day, it is your responsibility to have your client sign the client signature box. Wednesday's date is 10/30/13, and you perform your normal schedule. Please input 10 a.m. as your start time in the companion section and 1 p.m. as your out time for a total of 3 hours. You are back in at 1 p.m. and out at 4 p.m. for a total of 3 hours for homemaking. Anne is also scheduled for medical transportation at 4:30 on Wednesday. Please note that you are allowed 30 minutes prior to the scheduled appointment for pickup. So in the medical appointment section, please write 4 p.m. as your in time. Your out time will be the time you returned your client to his or her residence. In this case, your medical transportation out time will be 7 p.m. Your total hours for Wednesday will be 3 hours companionship, 3 hours homemaking, and 3 hours for the medical transportation. Please write 9 as your total hours for Wednesday. Don't forget to indicate your due dates for Wednesday at the bottom half of your activity sheet. Once you have completed this, don't forget to ask your client for their signature. Friday happens to be November 1st, 2013, the beginning of a new month. Because this is a beginning of a new month, you need to start a new activity sheet for each client. The previous activity sheet for October must be submitted to the office. Please note that it does not matter what day of the week the new month begins. Prior month sheets must be returned to the office within 3 business days. Anything received after the 3rd business day can result in a warning. And please remember that after 3 warnings, you may be subject to termination. Please locate a new activity sheet and write the same week ending November 2nd, 2013 in the upper right hand corner. Please locate Friday's box and enter 11/1/13 for Friday's date. Please input 10 a.m. as your start time for companionship, 1 p.m. as your out time for a total of 3 hours. But you are back in at 1 and out at 4 for a total of 3 hours for homemaking. Your total hours will be 6. Don't forget to indicate the duties performed at the bottom section of your activity sheet. Also have your client sign the sheet for the day. Please sign the employee's signature area at the end of each week. You will leave the supervisor and date space open. Here are some notes. If you bring your client home at 6:53 p.m. from your medical transportation, please remember to always round to the nearest 15 minutes. Therefore, your out time will be 7. No activity sheet can have 2 months on the same sheet. In this example, you'll be turning in 2 separate sheets for week ending November 2nd. If for any reason you're at the client's home and services cannot be provided, please contact your supervisor immediately, and on the back of your activity sheet, please write an explanation as to why no services were performed. This will inform the billing department that the client was not seen on that particular day. Understand, if you do not have a legitimate reason why you do not provide the services, this will be considered a no-call, no-show, and you will receive a warning. Let's say it's December and close to Christmas. You are approved 3 hours of companionship and 3 hours of homemaking. Your client asks you to do 1 hour of homemaking and then asks you to take her to the mall for the remaining time to do some Christmas shopping. Notify your supervisor of the request, and you will be allowed to take them to the mall for the 5 hours. At the end of your shift, when it is time to complete your activity sheet, you must indicate 3 hours for companionship and 3 hours for homemaking. Those were your approved hours. Remember, a signature is required by the client for each date of service provided. Signature must be completed on a daily basis with their full name. Pre-filling an activity sheet is not allowed. Let's say you work Monday through Friday. You wait until Friday to get all 5 signatures. On Friday, you are notified that your client has had an emergency, therefore is unable to sign your sheets for Monday through Friday. You did not obtain a signature on the days you worked. Therefore, you have not completed your activity sheet, and you will not be able to submit it for payroll. Another example, you are scheduled to work Monday through Friday. On Monday, you decide to pre-fill the sheet for the entire week scheduled. Your client has an emergency on Wednesday, and you are not able to work Wednesday through Friday. Because you have pre-filled your activity sheet, this is not accurate and cannot be submitted. You now have to wait for your client to return home before submitting a new activity sheet. If you do submit this incorrect activity sheet with the signatures on dates that you did not work, this is considered fraud and you will be subject to termination. An activity sheet is a contract. Please do not write any notes on the front of your sheet. Any notes should be written on the back of your activity sheet. All activity sheets are reviewed by our quality control department at the end of each month. If there are any errors, they will be rejected. The incorrect activity sheet will be returned to you, and you will have to complete a new activity sheet correctly and ask your client to re-sign them. If you continue to have errors on your activity sheets, you will be asked to retake this training. We understand that errors happen during your normal course of employment. However, we expect you to strive to avoid errors. And if the same errors are constantly repeated, we will be issuing employment warnings.